Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 133 of our trip around the United States. This morning, we're getting things started off here in Lebanon in front of the Cumberland County Courthouse. Today's route is back onto our miles. After being able to play around with the State Star GeoArt yesterday, which we completed in good time, we're trying to get on the move again. We have 330 miles to cover from here all the way down to the southern border of Kentucky. From there, we're going to run that northern edge of Tennessee and then pop back into Kentucky again. Our ending point for the day is Monticello, and once we get there, we know we're done. The central part of Kentucky where we are today is the part of Kentucky that we have put the most work into. So this is really only our central Kentucky day. Once we've dropped down into Tennessee and we've done that northern edge from there, we'll be working on the rest of eastern Kentucky after that. There is not an abundance of variety on today's list. For the most part, it's traditionals. We do have a virtual or two, we've got an earth cache, and we've got a couple other icons, but mostly it's going to be moving from one county to the next all day long. Our main goal for the day is the Kentucky County Challenge Final. Save for that, anything else on the list outside of county and page targets that we have to get, those can be scrapped. As long as we get that County Challenge Final, we're good. Looking forward to seeing what the day has in store, and I'm betting it's going to be a lot of great geocaches. Come on, let's go! For today's adventure, we get started off in Lebanon, the county seat of Marion County. Lebanon is best known for its Ham Days Festival and Tractor Show, which is held during the last weekend of September each year. We only stayed in town long enough to locate a few quick parking grabs, and then it was on into our miles for the day. One of the first caches we hunted down outside the city was just the other side of this bridge, which might as well be a terrain 4 for the dog.
She hates these kind of bridges. Right now she's looking for an approach to get over here without having to cross it. She's seeing the creek on both sides and realizing there's no other way. Oh, but she's giving it her best effort to see.
She is weighing her options, the bridge or the creek.
I was wrong. I didn't think she'd want to get wet. But ultimately, she decided that getting her paws wet were better than crossing that metal grated bridge.
Don't worry, wet paws in the Geomobile are something that we are well used to dealing with by now.
If the shoe fits.
Since we weren't actually successful in finding the geocache hidden on that bridge, I think it's time we hunt down a few others in the area. Yes, this is a little more my speed for this early in the morning. And it looks like I'm not the only one enjoying the geocache either. Not too far down the road, we stopped by this gazebo to have a look. The space between the frame and the roof seemed like the most logical place to hide it, and sure enough, there it was. A couple of counties over, we stopped at yet another gazebo, so I employed the same strategy, and sure enough, there was the geocache yet again.
Now, what are the odds I would find 2 in a row like this in 2 different counties from 2 different hiders? Small world, right?
After spending all morning fairly close to the car, it was time for a walk out into the woods. I was counting my blessings that it was fall because I could tell this would be quite the bushwhack to take on in the middle of summertime.
The Kentucky County Challenge Final. Everything I've done today has pretty much been parking grabs. I haven't gone farther than 50 feet or so from the car. So if there's one cache that's worth a hike out in the woods, it's definitely this one. Yes, in the bag. Ooh. It's a little worse for wear on the inside, but hey, a logbook is a logbook.
While making our way toward the next target, I noticed there was a listing that had just had recent owner maintenance. I love stopping off at recently maintained caches because I know they're most likely where they're supposed to be.
I can't say I was expecting to see a little free library. Oh, but I'll take it. These are always fun. Hopefully, this one's a book. What do we have going on in here? Oh, a dictionary, huh? Yeah, a lot of people don't usually get those from the little free libraries anymore. It's a combo box, but fortunately for us, it's not locked. Pretty good assortment of stuff in here too.
A stop into Hartsville, the county seat of Truesdale in Tennessee, was a must for us since it was the only virtual on the list for the day. The answers to the questions come from several different objects located around the front of the courthouse. While this could be daunting with some of the larger county courthouses, since this was not a very big spot, it was pretty easy to track down all the answers in a short time. Having completed all of the requirements, we took a walk of victory and enjoyed finding a geocache hidden near this bridge. I think this would be a really cool way to get to commute to and from school each day.
Oh, so many guardrails to be seen when you're county caching. Normally they're pill bottles, magnetic key holders. But let's not forget, they can hold small containers that hold swag, no problem. Those spots at the end can fit those just as well as they can a mag key holder. And these are always just nice to find.
Still running the northern border of Tennessee, our next stop was Lafayette, the county seat of Macon County. We sure did get to visit a lot of county seats today, but it also so happens that most of the geocaches available in these counties were located within the county seat, which is great because I always enjoy checking out local courthouse buildings. And then it was off to Kentucky for our next find. Well, sort of.
Now, I've talked to you guys before about finding caches close to county lines. It can be a risky game. Finding them next to state lines can be a risky game too. It really just comes down to what state it's listed in. It's hard and fast from there. If it says it's listed in Tennessee, it's in Tennessee. If it says it's in Kentucky, it's in Kentucky. But man, this little find here, being one of the only options available, really makes me nervous when it's this close between the state lines.
And that little tiny nano was it for Kentucky. We immediately dropped down south below the state line and went back into Tennessee for another find or two. Although this one was not a target, seeing that it was a regular, I could not resist coming out to have a look at what might be inside.
Just out of curiosity, is there anybody out there who would use dental floss they find in a geocache? I'm gonna pass personally.
What's that you say? Another guardrail? Why yes, it is. But no, this one is not a pill bottle nor a mag key holder. It's another one large enough to hold swag.
And that is our last find in Tennessee for the day. It is time to wrap things up in Kentucky.
Crossing the state line one last time for the day, we found ourselves in Cumberland County enjoying a series of very neat murals. Following the trail of artwork led us directly into Burkesville, the Cumberland County seat. With a population of only around 1,500, it feels larger than it actually is, but not quite that large. The county courthouse here in Burkesville sits directly in the middle of a very busy traffic circle. Well, a traffic square, really. It is a very busy spot with cars constantly circling, so make sure to watch your step if you're going to come check out this courthouse like I did. And by the time we finished our self-guided tour, the sun was setting on yet another day. And that is a wrap for our day. I've always considered time to be my most precious resource, but having the sun setting down on us at 4:36 p.m., I am feeling it now more than ever. We just never seem to have quite enough time. We're here shooting from the edge of Burkesville in Kentucky, and we're on our way to our last stop of the day in Monticello. We're still 2 counties and pages shy, which we'll have no problem making by the end of the day, but obviously we're not going to make it by the time we run out of sunlight. That thing is sinking quickly now. It's been a pretty good day. It was really a mix of Kentucky and Tennessee today. Once we hit the Tennessee northern border, we started zigzagging and getting counties and pages on each side of the line. That portion of Tennessee for the 7th edition has some very tiny page slices, so we had to be very careful about making sure we were getting those at the very top edge of the page. If you drop too far south, you're already in another page, and the targets are quite limited out there. So there were several pages and several counties where we had to satisfy ourselves with one and dones. Just one find in the county or the page, and then move on to the next one. Because either the ones that were available had DNFs, they were too far out, or there just weren't others available, and that was the only option. That did happen a couple of times today too. Today is also the last we'll be seeing of Tennessee for the Kentucky portion of this trip. We've worked what we need to along the northern edge of Tennessee, and from here we're going to be pushing east across Kentucky. The next time we'll be seeing Tennessee is our last day of Kentucky, when we drop into the very eastern side of Tennessee and have to start dealing with those very tough counties and pages over there. It was a great day of geocaching. We found a lot of parking grabs, lots of guardrails today, but surprisingly, not a single lamp skirt. Lamp skirts and guardrails are kind of the backbone of county caching. we love to get the other caches along the way. When there's ammo cans or small, unique caches favorites, of course we're gonna go for those. But when you get to some of those really rural, far out there counties, that's simply not an option. Thank you guys for joining us for another day on the road. We are really having a good time out here in Kentucky and Tennessee. We're just feeling the shortage of daylight, and it's still a month and some change from winter solstice. So the days are really only gonna keep getting shorter from here. Like this video, subscribe to stay tuned for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.